Hey, good day. Mike Mata here. We're going to talk about NetData. It's an awesome tool that allows you to take a PCAP file, load it into NetData, and it does the analysis for you to help you within 3 to 4 mouse clicks figure out what's the problem. So I have a file that I've loaded, and you notice here a lot of good information. When I loaded it, it comes up and gives me the dialogue of who's talking to who. We see the client talking to the server. Make this big so we can see good information. There's one dialogue, basically no retransmitted packets. Let me move that a little to the side. 0.02 client side and none on the server side. If we look down in our connections there, we can see there are 2 connections, 9 round trips, and our network round trip time setup time is 30.8 milliseconds. So network round trip time, 30 milliseconds, relatively fast, but think 30 times 9 round trips to go to the application, minimum 270 milliseconds to do whatever the application needs done. We've also got throughput information, client side about 18.9K. That's not bad, but on server side, on a 10 meg Ethernet segment, we're really not utilizing that segment real well. We're only getting about 2.5 meg across the entire TCP2 connections there, so that's not real good. So let's drill into that and see if we can figure out what is the cause. If we click on chart transactions, you'll notice here that we've got several transactions down here pretty quick, less than a half a second, less than a quarter of a second. We've got one that's about a second, but we got this one that's hanging out here at almost 4 seconds. And if we highlight that, we can actually see it's HTTPS, makes it a little more difficult to troubleshoot because we can't actually tell you what's the GET request. Although in my next video, I'll show you how we can do that if we have the fiddler or HTTP watch information from the client side. That's, again, stay tuned. That will be in my next video. In this one, though, we see our server takes about 185 milliseconds to find the data. Think about server processing time, and it takes a little over 3 seconds, 3.8275 seconds, to actually send that 543,658 bytes of data across the network. So that's not real good. Our throughput is actually pretty bad there. But if we click on timing, we can actually see, here's the GET request in gold, those of you that aren't colorblind like me. So we can see the gold there, the GET request, and then we see the aquamarine or blue or kind of light blue, light green. There's our response time for the message, and it takes from about a second and a half to almost 4.5 seconds. So, our 3.8 seconds to actually send all of that content. There's our slow piece, if you will. We can also then click on the flow and see. We've talked about the timing here. If we look at that server time, that green dashed line, we're only getting about a T1, 1400 kbps, 1.544. So that was our total there. We're not getting real good throughput on that 10 meg circuit. So let's see if we can figure out why. If we right click here and say plot the flow chart of this particular connection, we can see now our round trip times, data sequence, window size, and throughput. So a lot of information here. Let me make that so you can read all that. Amazing amount of information that NetData plots for us. The server window sizes, client window, segments in the window. So think about bytes in flight. Just a ton of information. We're going to drill into this, and we're going to figure out why. Simply by, let's look at a small snippet of this, and we can actually see the If I highlight that again, make that a little bigger, we can see the window size of the client here is the pink line. We can see the green down here is the send window of the server, and we can see how many segments are actually being sent in each block from the server. So we're just not getting real good throughput because it's only sending 4 segments, 4 segments, then an ACK, 4 segments, and an ACK. But if we highlight this, we can see the client's receive window size 64,240 bytes. So the client has, a decent size window, but the server is only sending small. The server is only sending, let's see if I can get it right in that particular one. That's even worse. The server's only sending 2,920 bytes, or 2 segments, right, in the transmit window, even though the client can receive up to 64K. The server, the application, is just not filling the client's window. And again, we can see 2 segments, 4 segments. So this is the problem. We need to go to the application folks and say, hey, tune your application to actually use the TCP stack for maximum performance, and no one would be complaining the network is slow. So again, a few mouse clicks, we have the answer to our problem is our number of bytes in flight. Small segments, 4 segments, when we have large windows that we can actually deal with. So hope that helps. Thanks for listening. Make it a great day, and may the frames be with you.